In this video, we're going to show how to do comparison of two independent samples in Google Sheets. So the problem we selected is about returns on investments. So one group will form investments that are bought directly into mutual funds, and the other one through brokers, where the returns bought through brokers are corrected for their fees, so fees are taken out. The idea here goes that investors can do actually better buying directly, because the higher the fees that brokers charge do not justify the possibly higher returns. So what we're going trying to prove will be that what we're going trying to prove is that the difference, so funds bought directly less the average of funds bought through brokers, is positive, so that the returns bought directly are higher. This will be tested against the null hypothesis that the mean is 0. Usually the null distribution is always a fixed number, and when comparing two groups it's most commonly 0, although it could be a higher value as well. Now, to do this, we'll need a t-test, so independent samples t-test, which can actually be done in two different ways. Namely, there is a separate computation for doing this using equal. So we have t-test for assuming equal variances, or t-test assuming unequal variances. If one doesn't really want to bother with this, one could always choose the equal variances. It's more common. But we're going to do it properly, so first we need a test to actually decide about this. So we are first going to do a side test, which is an f-test for two sample of variances. If this test has a low p-value, then we choose unequal variances. If, on the other hand, has a high p-value, so not enough evidence that the variances are different, we choose equal variances. So we do the test. So we take directly bought as the first group, and we do the indirectly bought as the second one. We've chosen the first one, which contains labels as well, and we are going to start the output just below the hypothesis here. And let's see the analysis. Okay, p-value. Well, this is one-tailed, even though technically this would be a two-tailed hypothesis. But in any case, p-value is way above 30, so we assume equal variances. So we do the t-test to test our hypothesis to try to prove that directly buying is superior, assuming equal variances. So this is the variant we choose. So we select the directly bought as group 1, the indirectly bought as group 2. We have selected the labels as well, and we put the output down here somewhere. And okay, run the test. So we can see, so the directly bought has twice as high average return than the one bought through brokers. Pooled variance around 40, so this is just an average of these two. Because we have equally sized groups, it's actually just the simple average. Otherwise, it would be a weighted average, bigger group being given a bigger weight. Degrees of freedom, so the sum of these two divided by 2, and the t-statistic 2.28. Significance for this is 1.2%. So the conclusion here could be, since this is lower than our usual threshold of 5%, we can, so this one, we can write it here, less than 0.05. So we can conclude that we have proven that buying shares directly is superior to buying them through broker. This concludes this example.